is your name, please?
My name is Colonel William G. Draper.
What is your name, please?
My name is Colonel William G. Draper.
What is your name, please?
My name is Colonel William G. Draper.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one of them is the real William G. Draper and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. And here is our host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and good evening, and welcome again to our little game of deliberate misrepresentation, wherein four presumably smart people try to figure out which one of three challengers has sworn to tell the truth. To Tell the Truth is brought to you by Geritol, America's #1 tonic, the high-potency tonic that helps you feel stronger fast. Right now, let's meet our cross-examiners. What is your name, please?
My name is Polly Bergen.
My name is Jackie Cooper.
My name is Kitty Carlisle.
And my name is High God.
Now, these three people all claim to be William G. Draper. Of course, only one is the real William G. Draper. The other two have merely assumed that identity, and they do not have to stick to the truth. Panel, will you look at the copy of the affidavit, which is in front of you, while I read the original from here, and you follow along. I, William G. Draper, am a colonel in the United States Air Force. I started taking flying lessons while I was still a student in high school. And after a brief stint with a commercial airline, I joined the Army Air Corps in 1942. I have logged over 8,500 hours in the air, much of it ferrying heavy bombers to England and North Africa during the war. I still fly approximately 35 hours a month on my present assignment. I am Air Force aide and personal pilot to the President of the United States, Dwight D. Eisenhower. Signed, William G. Draper. Our game, panel. And may I say before we do, Polly, it's nice to have you back, and we just couldn't have been prouder of you.
Thank you very much, Bud.
Remember now that these three people all claim to be William G. Draper, the President's personal pilot. Remember, of course, also that only the real William G. Draper has sworn to answer your questions truthfully. Now, each of you will question as usual until you hear this signal. At the end of the questioning period, you will be asked to register your vote as to which one, in your opinion, is the real William G. Draper. We'll start with Kitty Carlisle tonight. Kitty?
I'm glad you asked me, Bud, because it's a question I've always wanted to ask. Number one, are you nervous flying the President of the United States?
I would say that you are so busy that you don't have time to be nervous.
Number two, are there any special ground precautions used for the President's plane?
Yes, there are. We have guards trained by the Air Force especially for the purpose and who are with the plane 24 hours a day.
Number three, are you married?
Yes, I am.
Number one, are you married?
Yes, I am.
Number two, are you married?
I am.
Hi, Gardner.
I thought for a minute I was on a show called Bride and Groom or something. Number one, a record was set today, flying a jet plane on the anniversary of the Lindbergh flight to Paris. How long did it take to get there today, and who was the pilot? Do you know?
I don't know who the pilot was, and I'm not sure as to the accurate minute, but it was 6 hours and I think 14 minutes.
I see. Number two, would you have an answer to that?
I just happened to hear it on the radio. I believe it is 6 hours and 37 minutes. However, I don't know
The name of the pilot?
I don't know the identity.
Number one, who was Secretary of Air when you enlisted or became an officer with the Air Force in 1942?
In 1942, we had no Air Force.
Polly Bergen.
I have a feeling I should have stayed in California, but number one, could you tell me where the Air Force Academy in the United States is?
The Air Force Academy is located, or will be located, at Colorado Springs.
Yes, you know where the present one is.
It's in Denver.
Number two, do you know where the present Air Force Base is?
The present Air Force Base is, the present Air Force Academy, rather, is at Lowry Air Force Base. And when the Academy is constructed, they will finally move it to Colorado Springs.
I see. Number three, could you tell me what is the equivalent of a colonel in the Army? In the Navy, I'm sorry.
A colonel in the Army is equal to a captain in the Navy.
A captain in the Navy. No,
Sorry, Polly.
that
Jackie
should
Cooper.
never ring.
Number 3, did you have to go to college in order to get a commission in the Air Force in 1942? No, I did not. Oh, I see. Where did you stop on your ferry rides to Africa to refuel? The route for the ferry flights to North Africa were either through West Palm Beach or Miami, Florida. From there, we went to Puerto Rico, across to the Ascension Islands, to Dakar, and then on to Oran. I see. Number 2, what do I mean when I say you learn to fly by the seat of your pants?
To learn to fly by the seat of your pants would mean to fly without reference to instruments. It's as the old male pilots used to fly at one time.
That's it. Old air my pilots or not, let's see what happens here and now, because it's time to vote. So without consultation, will you mark your ballots, panel, and select number 1, number 2, or number 3. Remember, please, that the team of challengers will get $250 for every incorrect vote. If they fool the entire panel, $1,000 is theirs to divide. Okay, panel, all ready? And Polly's eager. Who'd you vote for, Polly?
I'm not eager. I voted for number 2.
You voted for number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, I think it's number 3. But number 2, I sort of like, anybody who knows what the seat of your pants means, should be pretty well informed in the Air Force.
Especially up in the air.
Yeah.
Jackie Cooper, you voted for?
Number 2.
Uh-huh.
Because not only his explanation about flying by the seat of your pants, but because I noticed his hat is crushed from wearing earphones in the cockpit, unless you're misleading us, and the other 2 are not.
All right, Kitty, your vote this time was for?
Number 3.
What's your reason?
They all said they were married, and only number 3's wearing a wedding ring.
Well, that's a reason. Hi, Gardner, how about you?
I voted for number 1, Bud. 2 reasons for it. First of all, when the 3 officers were standing up there, numbers 2 and 3 were very rigid, as though they were at real attention. Number 1 seemed slightly more relaxed, as the pilot would be. And furthermore, you didn't finish that last question. You said no Air Force. You meant no Air Force secretary, and there wasn't any. I think that's the reason I picked this man.
Well, there are your reasons. What were yours now? I hope you've had good ones and that you've ended your little voting at home and all our folks in our studio audience, because right now we're going to find out just exactly which one of these gentlemen is the president's personal pilot. So will the real William G. Draper please stand up? Oh, if there ever was a dirty trick pulled right down on the wire, that was it. Wait a minute, Jackie. I'll get back to you. Let's find out about the others first. Number 2, would you tell us who you really are?
My name is Stanley Burback. I'm a military sales engineer with Colesman Instrument Corporation.
I see, sir. And number 3, how about you, sir?
My name is Melvin Sabalkin. I'm a sales representative.
Sure. All right,
Wearing a wedding ring.
Jackie had a question first, then.
Number 2, did you borrow your hat from Colonel Draper?
I certainly did not.
Then you're an actor.
Hi, what do you want to ask?
I just wanted to ask Colonel Draper, have you logged more miles than John Foster Dulles?
I might answer this by stating that that's a very debatable question.
Well, gentlemen, I hope you had fun. You can see how you worked out here tonight. We had 1, 2, 3 incorrect votes for a total of $750 from Geritol. Divide it, enjoy it. Good night, and the best of good luck to you. Now, may we have our next group of challengers, please?
What is your name, please?
My name is Kurt Baum.
What is your name, please?
My name is Kurt Baum.
What is your name, please?
My name is Kurt Baum.
All right, panel, once again, will you follow along with your copy of this affidavit? I, Kurt Baum, was once the amateur heavyweight boxing champion of Czechoslovakia. After several rounds of sparring with the former world's champion Max Schmeling, I became convinced that my professional career lay elsewhere. I attended medical school in Prague, but after 3 semesters, I quit and began to study voice. I am now known on 3 continents as the high C tenor because of my ability to sustain high C for 11 seconds, 2 seconds longer than anybody else to date. My 3 favorite operatic roles are Captain Radames in Aida, Canio in Pagliacci, and Don Jose in Carmen. Luckily, I get a chance to sing all 3 through my current employment as leading tenor for the Metropolitan Opera Company. Signed, Kurt Baum. Well, looks like our panel's got a real problem on its hands right now. And now to play our game, panel. These 3 people all claim to be Kurt Baum, leading tenor for the American Metropolitan Opera Company. Remember, only the real Kurt Baum is sworn to answer your questions truthfully. We'll begin this round with Hi, Gardner. Hi.
Number 1, did Schmeling's punches have any effect on your voice?
Yes, that's right.
What kind of an effect?
It broke my nose.
I see. Number 1 again, what baritone sang 4 or 5 different roles in the Metropolitan this past season within a 10 or 12-day period because of sickness?
4 or 5?
Mm-hmm.
I think Merrill.
Mm-hmm. Number 2, what year did you box Schmeling?
In 1930.
And who was the champion at that time, the heavyweight champ?
I believe it was Sharkey.
Number 3, why is it that in the old days that all the sopranos were real husky women? Today they're slight and slim and quite lovely.
Oh, they've learned how to diet.
Thank you.
Polly?
Number 2, could you tell me, who is the girl Don Jose leaves for Carmen?
Pardon me?
What is the name of the girl Don Jose leaves for Carmen in the opera?
You mean Carmen?
No, the girl he leaves for Carmen. His girlfriend that he leaves for Carmen. Number 3, could you tell me the answer?
Michaela.
Michaela? Number 1, could you give me the definition of bel canto?
Bel canto means you have to sing in line.
I beg your pardon?
In a nice line.
In a nice line?
Yes.
Number 3, could you tell me what does mezzo voce mean?
Middle voice, middle tone.
Jackie Cooper?
Number 1, you're Don Jose. Do you win the girl in the end?
No, I kill her.
And number 2, you're Canio. Do you win the girl in the end?
No, I kill her also.
Oh, you do. Number 3, Radames. Do you kill the girl?
No, but I die with her.
Number 2, what is your range?
High tenor.
No, I mean,
Kitty?
Number 1, when, in the opera Aida, when the curtain goes up, what do you see?
The public. You see a scene of the temple scene.
Yes.
And Radames waits for the high priest.
Yes.
And he
Number 3, when, if I were to sing La ba la bra da la montagne, what would you answer?
You'll have to pardon. Your time was up, and so was the panel's. You didn't give him quite time enough to write an opera there. He was trying his best. All right, there we are. Time once again to vote now, panel. And again, no consultation. Will you please mark your ballots for number 1, number 2, or number 3? Okay, all marked? No, Polly?
No, me either.
No, you either? Hurry up, Polly. Gotta call on you first. Polly, for whom did you vote? Number 1? Why?
I don't know. I think, actually, well, he seemed to know several of the definitions. He was so bright that I don't think it's him, but I voted for him anyway.
Jackie, your vote this time was for?
Number 2.
He's right.
What was your reason?
He knew his range immediately, and I don't believe the other two fellas at all.
Kitty, you voted for?
Number 2. I don't know either.
All right, hi, Gardner, how about you? Your vote was for?
Well, I voted for number 1.
Uh-huh.
With that white face, number 2 looks like a Broadway columnist. Number 1 looks a little bit like Presley, but he knows the score.
All right, there we are now. If you've got your lines drawn as fast as we and your reasons are as good, let's find out how good they are right now. So let's see which of these three gentlemen is the real leading tenor of the Metropolitan Opera Company. Will the real Kurt Baum please stand up? All right, thank you very much, sir. Number 2, would you tell us who you really are and what you do?
My name is Dimitri Pavlista, and I am with Swissair, preparing tours to Europe and all over the world. So fly Swissair.
And number 3, how about you, sir?
My name is Andrew Hecht, and I'm editor and publisher of the new humor magazine, Jester.
Can you tell us now what answer you were going to give Kitty?
I just wasn't prepared to sing that. I decided I'm not supposed to.
All right, let's see how well we did now. There were 2 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total of $500 from Geritol. Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you very much for being with us. Good night and good luck. May we have our third team of challengers, please?
What is your name, please?
My name is Celeste Evans.
What is your name, please?
My name is Celeste Evans.
What is your name, please?
My name is Celeste Evans.
Okay, panel, once again, will you follow along? Here we have another affidavit. You have your copies. I, Celeste Evans, am a professional escape artist and magician. The straitjacket escape is only part of my repertoire, since I also escape from chains, ropes, and handcuffs. As a magician, I am known as the Mistress of Magic, and I work with a flock of trained doves. Except for a short period when I operated a fishing boat, I have been in show business since I was 14. I have performed in 9 foreign countries and am now appearing on the bill at the famous Palace Theater here in New York. Signed, Celeste Evans. Now, we'll start our cross-examination again in just a moment. He claims to be Celeste Evans, famous escape artist. Let's start this round with, well, our welcomer backer, Polly.
Number 1, from the look of your outfit, are you sure you wanted to be on this show?
Quite sure.
Oh. Number 3, could you tell me what union must you belong to in order to play vaudeville?
Well, I belong to AGVA.
I see. Number 2, could you tell me, have you ever not been able to get out of something that you got yourself into thereof?
Many times.
Many times? No, I mean on stage with the straitjacket. She had sort of a way about saying many times.
Yes,
that I thought
she
maybe
did.
Number 1, could you tell me who was the famous escape artist?
Harry Houdini?
Jackie?
Number 1, there's a famous magician named Randy. Can you tell me what his big act is?
Well, the most important thing he does is bury himself. He buries himself underneath water and maintains himself there for several hours, 24.
I wonder what opera that's from.
I don't know.
Number 2, could you tell me where the situation of the next to the closing act's dressing room is at the Palace?
Star dressing room.
That's the star dressing room. Who was at the Palace? Number 3. Who just closed at the Palace before you?
Liberace.
Uh-huh.
Some closing. Kitty?
Number 2, did you ever learn anything from Mr. Houdini?
No, he died before my time.
But you never read any of his works or anything?
Oh, I read many of his works.
Number 3, how does one get out of a straitjacket?
Well, I can always escape that by saying that is a professional secret. But there are numerous ways, and I think each magician has his own way. I have my own particular way, and if you happen to see the show, perhaps you'll see how I do it.
Of course, one way is to have help.
Number 1, how do you train doves?
That's a very difficult thing to do and takes a great deal of time.
And patience?
Yes.
Number 2, have you ever used your special talents in life in an ordinary way to get out of a tight spot, or?
Oh, yes.
No, I mean...
We better drop that right there, I think. Before one of the doves misses its coup. All right,
Number 3, do you know what it was that caused Houdini's death?
Yes, he was hit in the stomach by a student at the McGill University up in Canada.
Number 1, what band leader is also a famous magician?
I'm afraid I don't know.
Do you know the answer to that, number 2?
In New York?
In New York.
I haven't lived in New York too long. I think it is Richard Himbert.
That's all we have time for now. It's time once again to vote, panel, so please mark your ballots for number 1.
Oh.
Number 2. Or number 3. Okay, ballots all marked? Fast this time. Are we ready? Polly? Okay. All right, Polly, but who did you vote for this round? What is it?
It's a 3 with a broken pencil.
Why, Polly?
Well, I must confess that the way she said her name at the beginning, despite whatever she said during the course of the questioning, threw me. She said it like she was announcing herself on stage.
All right, Jackie, how about you?
Number 3.
You voted for number 3 also.
Yes.
Why?
Because the vaudeville in the way she said Evans when she was on. I had to believe that. I go with Polly on that.
Kitty?
Number 3. I believe the story she told about how Mr. Houdini died.
And hi, Gardner?
The story is the correct one. Furthermore, she looks at home in a straitjacket.
All right, we've asked them to step out in front of the desk for a very definite reason. Instead of asking the real one to stand up, we're going to ask them all to try to escape from the straitjacket, and the one who is the real Celeste Evans will do so. All right, ladies? Go! Number 2 was the one, as you saw. Number 1, suppose you tell us who you really are.
My name is Pamela Perry, and I do independent record promotion for recording artists. Right now, Sammy Davis, Jr.
And number 3, how about you?
My name is Beverly Anderson, and I'm a dancer in burlesque. I had to get out of a lot of tight spots, but never a straitjacket.
Of course, it explains a lot, the fact that she's a dancer in burlesque, and it explains why she looks at home in a straitjacket.
Yeah, I think she could wiggle out of anything.
Didn't quite make it. Somebody over there had a question. Was it Jackie?
I did. To number 2, the next to closing act there at the Palace and all the shows I've seen there has been the Star Act. Actually, not the Star Act. Oh. So that the Star, they wouldn't occupy the Star's dressing room.
What he does this week, it's Marty May.
Oh, well, it serves me right for not going to the Palace. I'm sorry.
That'll learn you. Go over and pick the show up. Well, ladies, you did rather well. You fooled our panel completely, which happened, incidentally, to them twice last week. And these first 2 rounds...
It's not unusual on this show.
The first 2 rounds, they were getting a little cocky here tonight, I think, because they did rather well. But you can see what happened. It was a clean sweep, and there it is. Every one of the votes was incorrect, so you will divide, among the 3 of you, $1,000. Good night to you, and the best of good luck. Well, I guess that just about does it, panel. Always seems too early to say it, but I have to. Good night, panel.
Good night,
Good night, Bud.
And good night to all of you. Incidentally, remember, please, what I told you about Geritol, the high-potency tonic that helps you feel stronger fast. And right now, this is Bud Collier also saying good night and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
Transportation for To Tell the Truth is arranged by American Airlines. guests have flown to New York for an American famous luxury flight, the DC-7 Mercury. To Tell the Truth is the Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production in association with the CBS Television Network.